Okay, yeah, we're definitely working now. Okay, great. So I've just got just a few questions that I'll just run through, if that's okay. Um,
Sure.
so just firstly, can you talk to me a bit about your sleep experiences in your words?
Specifically the night
Yeah,
terrors.
yeah.
This happens usually when I'm under stress, but I never realize it until later. And I have sometimes it's a recurring nightmare that there's two. One of them is I'm trying to scream in my sleep, but in my dream, I can't make any sound and I can't get the scream out. And it's actually making me terrified now thinking of it. I'm in some kind of great peril, but I need to scream to get attention, to get help, but the sound won't come out of my voice. And I've had people, like my partner mainly, who ends up hearing it, he says it sounds like you're being strangled. So in my dream, I'm trying to scream, but my waking self is also trying to scream. And it sounds like, he said, someone screaming while they're being strangled. So he gets quite distressed as well. And then I wake up and I'm in a state of panic and fear, but I can't exactly figure out why.
Okay.
Yeah, and is there anything you want to ask about that? Or
when did it first happen to you?
the screaming one
Yeah.
is relatively recent, like in the last I'd say the last 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, that's just screaming. I don't thrash around. There's another one where I move around. Yes, but I can't think of what would have kicked that off. I mean, I don't think I'm particularly stressed. I'm a fairly happy-go-lucky person. My life is pretty fun, you know. The second one, which has recurred since I was a kid, so the screaming is more of an adult one, which is nice. The second one is something that I've had since I was, like, I don't know, as long as I can remember. And I feel like I'm trying to grab onto a spinning wheel. There's a big wheel that's spinning and it's huge, and I'm trying to grab onto it so I don't fall off, but it's full of spikes. It's soft but full of spikes. And this happens and I find it difficult to move. But what I'm actually doing while I'm asleep, I'm actually digging my nails into my palms and moving my hands around. So I'm thrashing out and stabbing myself with my nails. So that happened most recently, I think, whenever I was tweeting a couple of days ago. Maybe Christmas, that's nice. Yeah, so I have to, every now and then I wake up with like little nail dents in my palms and I have to sort of chop my nails off again and start again. But yeah, that's the frequent one, and that's actually making me sweat when I'm talking about it.
Can you tell me anything specific about what are you dreaming about when this occurs?
Usually it's something unseen, like in shadows or around a corner. So there's not, and these things, I could be having a lovely little dream about, I don't know, walking through a forest or minding my own business, reading a book, and then around the corner there'll be something menacing that I haven't identified. So whatever it is, I don't see it. I don't know what it is. I can't identify it, and I just know that it's going to kill me. Basically, it's not going to hurt me. It's going to kill me. I don't sleepwalk or anything, but I have opened my eyes and gabbled nonsense, and woken up screaming a couple of times. But yeah, luckily I'm not sort of getting up and wandering around. But yeah, the dream is always something I can't identify. I've never seen before. I couldn't explain it because it's a massive something that's going to kill me.
Okay. And what impact has this had on you in your daily life?
Yesterday, for example, I was just weird in the morning and all of the day. I had to kind of convince myself everything was okay. Usually I can shake it off because I know that it stops once I wake up. But I've tried to avoid doing certain things. Like I've tried cutting out food. I've tried, I don't know, doing more exercise or being in daylight. But it's been pretty bad the last couple of days, and I kind of dread going to sleep. But the more I think about it, the worse it gets, if that makes sense. And I feel like sometimes I'm bringing it on.
Okay, and is it regular?
It's recurring, so it's not regular. It will just, when I have, let's say I have bouts, so this has been going on for the last couple of nights, and then it will stop, and then it might come back in another 6 months' time, and then it'll be, so it's like episodes rather than like regular.
Okay. And what are the emotions and feelings you feel during these experiences?
Terror, that's it. I mean, I know they're called night terrors, but it is terror. I feel like I'm going to be killed. It's that level of fear. And it's paralyzing. So, yeah, it's paralyzing terror.
Okay. And the installation that I'm going to create is experiential. It's focusing on feeling and kind of multi-sensory. Is it a multi-sensory experience for you?
Yep. Because I always get that weird feeling of like that, the soft, yet the nails. Well, if you stab yourself in your palm, that's what I feel.
And did you hear anything? Is there sound?
Not usually. Usually I'm listening for whatever this creature thing is. So I'm aware of every single sound. But not for me, not usually sound. The sound's usually me, like, trying to scream.
Okay. And does your breathing suffer?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe that's the only sound I'm aware of, is either me trying to scream and my breathing. Like, imagine you're hiding somewhere and you're trying not to breathe too hard, but your breathing sounds very, very loud, and it's going to give you away.
So, can you describe what happens to your breathing?
It gets faster and shallower. I think I'm so focused on trying to scream or trying to grab onto this thing that I don't struggle for breath. I don't have any of that suffocating thing, but it gets faster and shallower, like you would when you're panicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what about hallucinations?
What do you mean, like waking up, or?
Would you say that you kind of hallucinate? Do you think you hear or see things? How much do you think that your imagination makes it worse?
Do you mean like in my waking life? Do I have hallucinations, or?
No, during your.
Oh, okay. Oh, in dreaming, everything's kind of it's so weird that everything is a hallucination.
Okay.
Like, I can't trust myself when I'm dreaming. But I have woken up, and I don't know if my eyes have been opened or not, because no one's been there to check, but I've woken up, I thought, in my dream, and looked around my room, and seen the things that are usually there, but distorted, and I can't focus on them.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'm opening my eyes, and that is functioning, but it's like my brain is trying to wake me up, but I'm halfway between. But that's very rare, those ones.
Okay. And do you feel any sort of suffocation or pressure on the chest? Like, are there any other feelings or sensations that occur?
In terms of pressure, it's like being pushed from all sides. I know the stereotypical one is something sitting on your chest, but I feel like I'm being compressed. But it's a compression of not something tangible.
Okay.
And I don't get any smells. Touch, I think I told you about, is that like my nails stabbing into me. Sound is just me. That's all I can hear. Yeah.
And what's the worst thing about it for you?
Probably that I can't control it.
Yeah.
And I can't identify it. Yeah, that's it. It's not knowing what it is.
Okay. And do you feel hot? Does temperature come into it? Do you feel hot or cold?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that comes into it at all. I don't wake up sweating or anything like that.
Okay. And what do you do when you wake up from one of these experiences? What is the initial reaction?
I think at the point of waking up, I'm still in a state of kind of panic, but I'm in a state of panic, but you get a bit practiced and think, oh, thank God I've woken up. So it's when I wake up, it's panic followed swiftly by relief, but I think I've trained myself to do that.
Okay, and do you record these experiences in any way? Do you write stuff down?
No, I've tried not to identify it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I don't want it if I start thinking about it, I don't want to encourage it. I think I've got my head in the sand about it.
And do you know before you go to bed at night that you're going to have one of these experiences?
No.
So it's random?
Yeah, it's just completely random.
Okay, and do you kind of, would you say you understand your sleep behaviour?
Yep. Most of the time I close my eyes and I'm asleep. Like there's no, like it's pretty, like I don't get insomnia, none of that kind of stuff. It's usually, I understand it and I can control it apart from this bit.
Okay. And when, in one of these sleep experiences, can you say it's unidentified, but can you talk about what you actually see?
It's shadows and dark.
Okay.
Moving shadows and dark, like like fog or mist will come at you, but it's a mass that doesn't have form.
Okay. I think those are all my questions. Thanks so much for talking to me.
That's all right. Good luck with the rest of it.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.